here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Thank you for the time, Coach. Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to y'all as well. Glad to be on.
Absolutely. One thing that has stood out over the last year, Coach, is that very much the fan base has realized how much you love recruiting. I think that when you were first hired, that was very evident. And then over the last year, all the way up to signing DeMario Tolan on signing day, was very evident. How much do you love that part of the game? How much is that part of the game changing with the rules in college football right now?
You know, I think as a coach, you're usually as successful as your players are talented, and a lot goes on with that as well. How hard work and what kind of character they are. So I'm always intrigued, especially as early as recruiting takes place nowadays. A young man like DeMario, I've been recruiting for 3 years, so just getting to know his family, getting to know the ins and outs, getting to know his teachers. It's all fun, and to me, I do enjoy, just being able to be the guy that gives those kids the opportunity to, obviously earn a scholarship and one day get a degree. Not everybody can say that, as a high school athlete. So it's really cool from that standpoint.
Not the year that you imagine. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just think the game's changing tremendously, obviously, with the NIL stuff and all that.
How is it changing recruiting? How are the conversations changing in the living room?
I think the biggest thing is just being upfront with kids. From a cost of attendance standpoint, this is some of the marketing deals that some of our players maybe have gotten over this past year. And not all kids are intrigued by that. I'll use Damone, for example. Obviously, he wasn't a recruit, but he was a guy going into his senior year, and he was approached by a lot of different companies and people before this season, and he didn't want to be distracted by it. So I think it's different for every individual. Some guys are super intrigued by it, and their families are super intrigued by it, and other people just want to come and get their degree and play ball. So I think it differentiates depending on which kid you're talking to.
Coach, describe Damone Clark in the season that he had. It feels like a crime that he's not the Butkus Award winner. It feels like an even bigger crime that he's not an All-American on every list. But really, who cares, because he's going to be a first-round draft pick, I feel, in April. From your point of view, who worked with him every single day over the last 365 days this year, how good is he, and how much did he improve?
Damone Clark is he's a special, special kid. He holds a special place in my heart. I think we hit it off really well from the get-go, but from a physical standpoint, the good Lord did not make many Damone Clarks. I mean, he's 6'3", he's 245. He'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in the high 4.4s, for sure, the low 4.5s and the 40. He can run all day long. He's smart. He's just he's a wonderful kid, and to see everything come to fruition. My biggest thing I'm upset about is we only have 1 year together, and even halfway through the year, he was talking about coming back, and I said, "No, man, you're getting out of here." And
right,
it's really a credit to him. I mean, you're not going to find a harder working young man. He meticulous note taker. I wish I had a picture of his notes to show y'all. It's like a work of art, man. It's unbelievable handwriting. He's got highlighters. I mean, it's intense and it's impressive. And so for everything that he's gotten this year and everything that he's going to get moving forward, he's earned all of it. And I couldn't be more proud of him.
In watching him and scouting him last year and coming in to coaching him on the field this year, what, in your opinion, directly changed? Because he's always been that freak-type athlete. I called some of his games at Southern Lab when he was in high school, and he was sideline to sideline, making every tackle. He was just you could tell he was the best athlete on the field. Between his last season and this year, what do you think unlocked for him? Because it felt like he was very much kind of unlocked as a player.
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest. I mean, that's a great word to use is unlocked. I thought going into that room in general, but specifically him, I didn't watch a lot of tape on him. I didn't know what they were being taught to look at. I didn't know the scheme, in and out. So I didn't judge him off of missed assignments. I just strictly watched his point of attack tape, kind of to see athletically how he was. But I think unlocked is the key word. My biggest, battle cry this past spring was don't be afraid to make a mistake. Cut it loose, play fast, and I think that was the biggest thing. When I walked in there, he was scared to death to make a mistake. From a confidence standpoint, I think maybe cleaning up some technique stuff with his hands, but most importantly, probably his eyes. Kind of teaching him some ins and outs, pre-snap, post-snap, what to look at, and really hone in on what his keys should tell him to do. And once he got confident in that, it unlocked him, and he played free, played fast. He wasn't afraid to get taken out when he did make a mistake. It was play the next play. And I think all those things combined really, really freed him up and allowed him to have the season that he had.
Coach, I know your experience at LSU this past year is not how you envision it and not what you want, but as a coach, I know this is probably not unexpected. What is this like? I guess take us to the firsthand point of view of a coach in a world that you live in, where you're accepting a job and then you're looking for a job in a place that at LSU can become unstable too.
Yeah, it's obviously what you sign up for when you get into this profession. Me personally, I've never been a guy that wanted to stay somewhere just a year and was looking for the next job. Obviously, with the family ties here and the place, the special place that LSU is. Obviously, we wanted to work out longer than a year, but everything happens for a reason, and I really am forever grateful that I was given this opportunity. And in my opinion, I try to make the most of it every single day, and was able to do that. But right now we're just kind of sitting back and seeing what comes our way. We're not in a rush to really just to dive into the first opportunity that comes. I kind of want to just sit back and see what's out there and take my time. But like I said, forever grateful for this opportunity. Loved our time here in Baton Rouge. The people, the administration, the whole nine. It was top notch.
Coach, the defensive game plan against Alabama, you were the ones that defended them the best. What was it about that game plan? It looks like you've given a lot of people the blueprint, but nobody can really master it like you guys did that November Saturday night. What was it about your crew? It was you guys looked very different that night.
Yeah, I think that over the bye week, philosophically, we really went from playing 4 down and single high and really that's really what we did the entire year, and kind of just changed our whole demeanor. We were probably 50-50 with 3 down and 4 down, and mixing in a lot of pressures. And I think a lot of times that allows your kids, when you just sit there and 4 down or 3 down even, and you're playing the same defense over and over, it puts a lot of pressure on your kids to match up everything perfectly on the back end, to fit every run perfectly. Obviously, the opponent, they got all week to game plan with just 1 or 2 looks, and when we became a lot more multiple, I think it gave teams a lot bigger issue. And then I think it allows our kids to not have to play perfect every single snap. The mentality of telling them where to go and allowing them to do it in a very fast manner. Obviously, there's great athletes here at LSU, and allowing them just to cut it loose. I think that was probably the biggest difference from the first half of the season.
I know you did not coach him directly, but how good is Mason Smith, and how good can he be?
Oh, Mason Smith, he's my guy, man. I've been another kid I recruited for a long time. We laughed whenever I walked through the doors here. I said, man, I told you I was going to coach you. I just didn't know if you were wearing the purple and gold. But he's a freak.
Yeah.
That dude is a future first-round draft pick, great head on his shoulders, stays humble. And honestly, he's just going to get better and better. You can see it over the year, just cleaning up his technique, his pad level. The small things that go into making you from a great athlete to a great football player. He's well on his way, and I can't wait to see him explode next season.
I know the conversation did not end the way that you wanted it to, and I know everybody wanted you here. I'm looking at the chat. Everybody wanted you to stay in Baton Rouge. What was your what do you think the football program looks like under Brian Kelly at LSU moving forward?
It was interesting just being there a couple of weeks when he was there. And when I say interesting, it was him building a staff while the old staff's working on the game plan. So it's almost like two separate entities. But the one thing I can say is he's got a plan, he's got a vision. I think he's very deliberate, very calculating in his decision making. I don't think he's going to be. He's been doing it a long time. He's not going to be rushed. He's not going to be panicking into making decisions and what he sees best fit for the program. But it's the same thing I told recruits. With me not even knowing if I'm going to have a job here or not, is he's won everywhere he's gone. When people talk about a fit, I said you could be a green alien if you're winning football games in Baton Rouge. You're going to be a fit. So I do believe he's going to have success. I speak very highly of him just from being around him for a little bit. I can tell that he's a man of character, and I was really impressed with him over the couple of weeks I got to spend with him.
Very stand up. Blake Baker here with us on the Jordy Culotta Show. An excellent representative of the game and obviously LSU football over the last year. How good is Demario Tolan? Because his highlight film, he's sick.
Yeah, Demario is a heck of a football player. I think it's going to be very beneficial for him being an early enrollee. When you look at the amount of linebackers they're going to have healthy going through the spring, he's going to get a ton of reps, and I think he can play Mike or Will, and I don't know exactly what scheme they're going to run here next year, but with what we were doing, I think he's versatile. I think he can play both. He's smart. He comes at both his parents are ex-military, so he comes from a very structured home, handles his business, and very mature beyond his years. So I do think he's going to be a great football player. And that's what I told him in recruiting. I said LSU is still LSU regardless of if I'm here or not, and the opportunity of early playing time is still there. So it'll be fun to watch him grow over the next couple of years from a distance.
Coach, one young player that people are curious about is Greg Penn, who was a big get in recruiting and somebody who saw the field limited in his first year. How do you see him growing, or how have you liked his growth while you've coached him, and what do you see as his outlook?
Yeah, I think the sky's the limit for Greg. He's one of the smartest football players I've ever been around, especially as a true freshman. He really understands the game. He plays with great pad level. He knows how to stay square to the line of scrimmage, and he loves football. He takes it very serious. Obviously, coming from Catholic, where football is ingrained into him at an early age, and just the approach you have to succeed at that school, I think you can see it's paid off here at LSU, and I fully expect him to be a stud by the time he leaves LSU.
Coach, we talked and had Uncle Kev on the show.
That's all we needed to hear right there.
Of Harold Perkins.
My God.
I can't imagine how wild his recruiting is, because he is worth all of it. How good is he?
He's I don't know how much I can actually speak.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I put you in a weird spot, and you don't have to say anything. No, but your laugh said it all. Coach, thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for doing this. I know that you didn't have to do this, but I will tell you, as somebody that is from here and has covered LSU football for a long time, that the fan base has fallen in love with you over the last year, and they can tell by the way that you love the game and that you loved and represented LSU. So let me tell you, thank you from them to you over the way that you've handled this. I know this has been a very awkward time for coaches in the way that you have represented our state and our flagship university. We are very grateful for and wish you nothing but the best, man. And I know good things are coming your way probably pretty quickly here. So thank you very much.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to represent LSU in the state of Louisiana. And like I said, this is home, and it's forever LSU. So I can't thank y'all enough. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Blake Baker. See you, man.
You got it. Bye-bye.
There is Blake Baker checking in this morning, talking a little LSU football and his thoughts there on Harold Perkins.
Won a lot of people over, I bet, just now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's good.
Great guy.
He was a great guy.
That was a good interview.